my goodness, I just spent 6 minutes talking to myself and didn't film a thing. Anyway, I want to talk today about being an artist, and beginning with the end in mind, beginning with setting your art business up so that you can track your own artworks, so that you can monetize your business. Not that I'm completely profitable, but you know, so that you have half a chance. So a couple of things. Here you'll see this is my folder. This actually has inside of it an actual art register for art competitions that are coming up each year, so I can plan my artwork if I actually want to complete works by a certain time, the opening and closing dates for certain things. I also, that's number one. Number two, I run a register of all my own artworks, so that in that register, I'll go through it a bit later, it just keeps details of my paintings and who's bought them, if they're still with me, and those kinds of things. I'll explain why I've done that. So that, and then number three is also a supplier list, so that when I'm trying to find art, like paintbrushes, paints and different things, I have a go-to place. Also people who can freight your artworks, because that can be quite challenging, and also people who can, you know, provide you with the wooden frames if you're making your own frames. So there's lots of things, and you just don't want to waste time. You want to start to streamline things. And also I have a social media, a little bit of a appearance on there, and this is pretty much me planning out a month's worth of just posts, just so I'm actually on social media, because I find that doing my artwork, I do not have the time to go and post on social media. I also work 2 days a week part-time as a bookkeeper, and I also have 7 grandchildren, so there is not a lot of time for me to actually, you know, paint. So it's very, very precious to me. So I have to be organized, and this is why I'm sharing this, so that I can help you guys to be organized. Now, when back at the start of COVID, there was a documentary I watched, and it was of an artist who had dementia, and he was going downhill, so his family wanted to run one last exhibition, and they had to track down all of his works. And this was a challenge because there hadn't been great records kept of all of his works over his lifetime. Now, I've been painting since I was 13, and over COVID, when I decided I'm going to pursue my passion, which is art, I will create a register after watching that documentary of all my artwork. So there was about 50 different artworks that I was able to collate that I still had in my possession, all varied, very different, and so they're all collated, and from there, since then, every painting that I do gets a number, and it gets a name, and it gets put on my register. So having access to something like that is amazing, and there's also an image on that register, so everything is documented, even the story about why I came to paint what I did. So if I'm no longer on this earth, those that are left behind can, you know, track down my paintings, or they can explain why I painted what I painted. There's no, you know, somebody else is making up a story about why I painted what I painted. Sometimes there is no story. And then what was the other one? I don't know. There was 1, 2 and 3, and now I've completely forgotten. I just talked about number 2. Oh yeah, number 1 was that register. So that's a good one, but I mean, that's just one piece of paper, and I've just created it electronically, and every year I sit down once a year and do that. So with my social content, one day a week, one day a month, I will do that. With my galleries and exhibitions, that's probably a few days at the start of the year to collate all of that and do my investigations. And then, like, I've got my website, so I'm always constantly trying to look for merchandise or how to streamline payments or to get traffic to the website. So one day when I am super, super awesome and people love my work, I'll be able to outsource all of that. But at the moment, with affordability, it's taking my time. So yeah, finding time to paint can be a bit of a challenge, but we will get there. Just wanted to quickly show you before I head off. Yeah, if anybody wants any details about this register or how to keep track of your artworks, how to track your monies for your artwork, things like that. Like, if you have any questions, just ask me. If there's anything of value I can add to you, I will pass it on. And it's nice to know what people might want to hear about painting, or about, you know, trying to set yourself up as an artist and go into business. And anyone else that's struggling with something that either I can help, or you know, we could talk about, because I struggle with it too. Like, that'd be awesome. Anyway, just wanted to show you, here's a new big painting that over time I'll talk to you more about, but that's something for me to enter into an art exhibition next year. And yeah, so soon I'll be working on the Percivals again. I have someone who has agreed to let me paint them, which is super awesome, and we'll get to that. So bye. Just cutting it off short there. Take care and be awesome.